In this video, I'm going to give you an initial unboxing setup and review of the TP-Link Tapo C200 pan and tilt camera. Make sure you stick around, and if you like what you see, hit subscribe below so you don't miss out on future videos. Hi, I'm Will from Surridge Tech, and today we're going to be having a look at this, the TP-Link Tapo C200. It's a pan and tilt indoor camera. We're going to do an unboxing, a setup, we're going to have a look at some of its features, and then I'll give it some initial thoughts and a review. Before we start, I should say that this camera was given to me for free by TP-Link, so I can do an honest review for you guys. So let's get going. It's got a nice box. Tells us all the features on the back, gives us a little QR code to get the app, which is nice. Inside it, we've got some mounting instructions and a quick start guide. We've got a mounting template on a sticker, so that's quite nice. So you can stick the sticker to where you want to mount it, and then you know exactly where your holes need to be. Tells you need 6mm holes. It'd be nice if it told you how far apart they needed to be, but that's fine. More random rubbish paper. We've got a power supply. This runs on 9 volts and 0.6 amps. So 600 milliamps, 9 volts. Nice power supply. We've got the mounting bracket and mounting screws with some little tabs. And then we've got the camera itself. Nice little camera. So on the bottom, we've got the slots where we attach the mounting bracket. You just push it in and twist it. We can see that on the back, we've got our power jack and our speaker. And then on the front, we've got our lens, a microphone, a little indicator beacon. And if you move the head up, you can see the SD card slot and the reset slot. Or the reset button, I should say. So let's talk about the features. I think the biggest feature is its price. This camera retails at $34.99. That's pounds, by the way, not dollars or any other random thing that people use. But it's actually on offer, often, for just $24.99, which is a really good deal for a pan and tilt camera. So this camera runs on 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi, doesn't accept 5 GHz, but that's fine. It's got a 1080p resolution, so that's 2.1 megapixels, which isn't the best ever, but for the price, you can excuse it. It has a viewing range of 360 degrees pan and 114 degrees tilt. Note that is a viewing range and not the movement range. So that's from the bottom of the bottom to the top of the top, rather than the center of both, if that makes sense. It's got motion detection built in, local storage on an SD card up to 128 gigabytes. You can have remote viewing, two-way audio, a 30-foot night vision, and even voice control with either Amazon or Google Assistants. It also has an RTSP stream, both a mainstream and a substream, which is great, and ONVIF support. But the ONVIF support doesn't actually support pan and tilt, which is kind of a bit pointless, because then it's just effectively the RTSP stream. And it kind of means that if you plug this into an NVR or want to use it in some sort of network-based situation without the TP-Link app, all you can do is watch the stream, which turns this pan and tilt camera into just a static camera. So this uses the Tapo app. Oh, we've got to create an account. It's a little annoying. There we go. I had an account. Choose your region. And we tap to add a device. This is the C200. Plug it in and wait until it's blinking orange, red and yellow, which it is. Red and green, sorry. Allow while using the app. Rather you didn't. Oh, then we've got to connect to the TP-Link Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi connected.
Wi-Fi connected. Lovely. That wasn't too painful. Let's call it the C200 because that's what it is. Location. Doghouse. Okay, that's not a bad response. Vertical cruise, not sure what that's doing. I'm guessing that just goes up and down and yeah, and keeps going. Horizontal cruise. Again, I imagine it just does the same. Ah, and you can mark the position. That's nice. So we can call this door. And then we could go around and have a look at the clock. And call this clock. And then if we go into marks, it'll automatically go from one to the other. A lot quicker. That's nice. So we can see if we had more, we'd be able to see more of them. Useful. We can take a snapshot or record a video, and they go back into the memory. So if we have privacy mode, streaming and recording functions are disabled to protect your privacy. Nice, not sure what that is. Well, I guess it's a useful feature to have. So I'm guessing it's a nice kind of reassuring feature. If you wanted to turn that on, it means maybe other people can't see it. High quality and low quality. So this camera or sensor is 1080p. It's not the best quality in the world if you compare it to a 5 megapixel one, so 1080p is only 2.1 megapixels. But really, what can you expect? If we shimmy the camera over there pointing at me, that's in low quality. And then if we jump over to high quality, we can see it is quite a bit better. There. It's not a bad quality camera, but I think over a long distance, if you're trying to get some quality, you wouldn't get it necessarily. But that's fine. We can talk to the camera. 1, 2. That gives a nice feedback loop. Oh dear. Oh, that's because my camera microphone's up. So let's turn that down. We've got a voice call. Hello? Hello? Okay, so I guess that... Oh, let's turn that off, that's really irritating. I guess that means you don't have to push to talk every time, so if you actually wanted to have a chat with someone in the room, you could just voice call them. Bit of a gimmicky feature, I feel, but, you know, hey ho. What else have we got? So, useful information in the settings. Location, nice. By the looks of things, you can't set your own custom locations, which is a bit irritating. But I'm sure that's fine. Invert images, if you're mounting it on the ceiling or whatever. LED is just your status LED, so I don't know if you'll be able to see it. There's a little green LED at the top, you can turn it on and off. Detection and alerts. Motion detection. Okay, so this is all about motion detection. So we can turn on and off notifications. Activity zones the camera will only detect motion in custom zones. Okay, so that's good. That means you can block out if you're pointing at your neighbour's backyard or something in the corner of your frame, you can block that out. It's nice to be able to have lots of different zones. So you can actually get quite a good image of what you want to be capturing, which is nice. Oh, in landscape mode you get more. Let's cancel all of them. And then sensitivity from low to high. Nice, simple. I imagine it just detects. Micro SD card, there isn't one, so we can't do that, but we can turn on micro SD card recording. In the advanced settings, camera account. Create an account for camera login via third-party portals. So this would be useful for RTSP streams or OnVIF support distortion correction. Okay, so it doesn't actually show me what it's like with the actual camera, but it will square up the frame basically instead of it looking slightly fish-eyed. It doesn't look too bad at all. Display info, timestamp and a bit of text. Useful to have. Privacy mode, again we can do that from the main menu, so I'm not sure why it becomes an advanced settings. Light frequency auto, diagnostics, boring. Pan and tilt correction, whatever. Auto reboot. If enabled, the camera will reboot at 3 AM every day to maintain performance. It concerns me somewhat that the camera needs to reboot every day to maintain performance. I feel like a security camera should be able to run continuously, but maybe that's just me. I suppose it is quite a cheap camera. Yeah, bit odd, I think. So we've got no kind of color correction settings or anything like that. It's very much a basic camera. Yeah, so really, that's all there is to it. It's a very simple camera, and as such, I'm quite impressed. You know, it does what it's meant to. So what I'm going to do now is put it up somewhere and then test the motion detection. So I've had the camera up and running for a little while now, so I thought I'd share my thoughts with you. You can tell it's a cheap camera. You can tell that by the app design and the materials used in the build process. That being said, it's probably the cheapest camera that has RTSP, on-VIF and pan and tilt. Not that you can use on-VIF with pan and tilt, which kind of makes it useless, but you know, it's got them all. The motion detection is okay. It's not the most responsive, but it does detect you and it does notify you. It is quite a pain to turn on and off those notifications. It's quite hidden deep within the settings, which is a bit annoying if you wanted to do it, you know, every time you come home or leave the house. It's got local storage and the local storage is good. And you can put a very large SD card in it, which is great. It's got playback through the app, but it doesn't support file transfer protocol, so your files are stuck on that SD card unless you remove it. I haven't integrated it with Google, but the Alexa integration isn't bad. I have to say there's a bit of a lag, obviously, because it's got to go all the way up to the cloud, swivel around up there and then come back down, which is a bit of a shame, and there's also no support for pan and tilt again. At the end of the day, you get what you pay for. And for a possibly £25 camera, you just can't complain. It's got everything you need if you want to keep an eye on the dog or watch the front door. If you want to get your hands on one of these cameras, then I've left a link below to Amazon where you can buy one. Now, only 23% of you are subscribed to my channel, so if you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification icon so you can be notified when I release more videos. It really helps me out to reach you more often and to reach more people, and that enables me to do more exciting videos for you. So there we go, the TP-Link Tapo C200 smart camera. Make sure you hit subscribe below and click that bell notification icon to find out more about my smart tech and how you can build yourself the ultimate smart home.